Tonight's story comes from a man who spent his childhood in a house where the quiet never felt empty. He learned early on to ignore the footsteps, the shadows, and convinced himself that what he was seeing wasn't truly there. What began as small, ghostly experiences escalated into something much more, something physical, something that tried to hurt him.
Paranormal Payphone.
All right, welcome back to Paranormal Payphone, where we always answer the call after midnight. I'm Steve. Brandon, this is an amazing show. This is the first time that we're having a real physical encounter with these stories.
Yeah, and I can't imagine how this guy ever continued to exist in this house after having this.
100%. I don't know what I would do if this happened to me, if all of a sudden I'm getting like a physical attack from this thing.
Imagine this happening now. You would freak out, right? But then as a little kid, this happening. And you have no choice.
Yeah.
There's nothing you can do. You can't go, hey, I'm going to sell the house and go move somewhere else.
Can you imagine like this happening to you and your mom and dad coming home and Remax at the house? And you're like, excuse me, I'm handling some business here. Me and Caroline are going to be getting comps.
Yeah. And this is a scary story, dude. I just don't. How do you cope with something like this?
I don't think you really do.
No,
I think the minute it happens, it is something that's going to be ingrained in your mind forever, and you're just forced to deal with those consequences every day.
Yeah. I mean, there's nowhere in this house you would feel safe.
No, absolutely not. Can you imagine jumping out to, like, go to the bathroom middle of the night?
Full sprint. I'm done.
Oh, no, I'm peak up.
Yeah.
I am jug in the bed, like, no tossing and turning.
Like, hey, let's look into a catheter, Mom.
Yeah, or a lid.
Yeah. Yeah.
You got two options, catheter or a lid. Either way, we're going to make this happen.
And there's no other choice.
No,
That's it. I'm not going down the hall to the bathroom.
No, absolutely not. But the crazier part about this is from what it sounded like, this wasn't like a nighttime experience either. This was
the middle of the day.
Middle of the day.
Yeah.
Little day demon.
It's our first day demon.
Yeah, day demon.
There it is.
Yeah. I always get in trouble for school for day demon.
Yeah. We're leaving that one in.
Well, let's get into this show. Let's get into this stuff. What are you seeing right now? What's really kind of piquing your fancy?
Okay, do you remember that back on New Year's Day in 2024, that Miami Mall incident down at the Bayside Marketplace?
Vaguely, 2023, the last day was a little bit wild. But yes,
was
I
it for
vaguely
you?
remember.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I believe I watched The Wild Robot and cried.
We're going to need that couch again if we can pull this out for some more therapy for Steve. No, but what happened, there was the story that we got was that there was these 50 plus teenage kids coming out there, and they were fighting, shooting off fireworks. So it was like the largest police response in Miami history.
Yeah.
There was reported 183 police units there.
Yeah.
Okay. But then all this stuff, these stories started coming out about there were these like 10-foot tall, shadow people, aliens coming out of portals and all this stuff. And
there's even some video that shows them kind of walking and emerging and kind of fading and disappearing.
Right.
Yeah.
So this thing, it kind of like Atlas 3 or 3-Eye Atlas, it just kind of went away.
Yeah.
But now a couple years later, it's back in the, in the hot spot, and it's what it is they're related to the coordinates of between Miami and Antarctica.
Yeah.
That they're very similar to one another, just Antarctica's in reverse of Miami.
Yeah.
I didn't look into this, by the way, the coordinates.
So I have heard this and I have seen this, and it is kind of interesting the fact that the coordinates are so close that these things happen, because a lot of stuff happens in Antarctica. It's a place where no civilian is allowed to just freely roam. It's a place where military bases have been guys for years. Buzz Aldrin is on record saying that there is crazy stuff happening. I believe the tweet he put out is, I've seen stuff and they're all going to kill us.
Yeah.
And all that's happening on a trip to Antarctica.
Right.
So the fact that the coordinates are so different, I mean, it could mean that we just have, bad driving aliens.
They need a better GPS.
Yeah.
All this superior technology we are
Yeah.
always told about.
And they're still using a TomTom.
Yeah.
Like they're having a tough time.
it's either
getting in
TomTom or MapQuest.
Yeah, one of these.
Just printing it out.
Gleekglorp.
Yeah.
I thought I told you to turn left.
Gleekglorp. Yeah. Yeah.
No, 100%. They got it. But the other part that I thought was interesting is the similarities between Antarctica and Miami, right? Because one of them is covered in snow, and one of them you go to get snow. So
There you go.
this is really a good segue there.
I didn't know where you were going with that.
I'm so glad to. Yeah, that was what I wanted.
Yeah. I was like, oh, how do we get out of jail now?
But if we've learned anything
Mm-hmm.
from the Too Fast, Too Furious movie franchise, you can pull a lot of crazy stuff off in Miami. So the fact that there was this big coordinated response and the aliens were there, I mean, they've just seen Tyrese in a Mitsubishi Eclipse rolling around the streets. They knew that they could pull this one off.
But 183 units, that's a lot, man.
That is a lot. I don't know that I have that many cops anywhere within the Middle Tennessee area.
Right.
Let alone 183 ready to go on New Year's. Think about that. This is one of the busiest days of the year.
Yeah.
And they diverted such a massive amount of manpower to come and deal with this one situation.
Yeah. I mean, that's wild. And they try to just sweep it under the rug like,
Yeah.
just some kids. But how many policemen do you need to wrangle 50 teenagers?
Right. And the other part about it is it wasn't just one person saying that they were seeing these things. There were multiple people. It was dozens and dozens saying that they saw these shadow figures come out of nowhere. And the thing I find the most interesting about it is all this resurfaces right after all of the Epstein list stuff comes out. Mm-hmm. All of a sudden, we're getting a little bit more truth and a little bit more disclosure in some of these situations.
Yeah, it's like, is this a distraction or is it just something, we're getting some real information now?
I think it could be a little bit of both, to be honest with you.
I agree.
Now, the thing that I saw that I thought was
Hit me with
fascinating. All right, so we have the senator or Republican representative, Tim Burchart, Tennessee, has claimed that there are underwater bases where the aliens are currently operating out of, and that's where they go.
I can completely believe that.
Yeah. So he's on record saying that he believes there's as many as 5 or 6 that they're operating out of. That's why we're getting all these videos of these craft taking off in and out of the water, being around the water, predominantly happening in the coastline. Because we talked about that in a previous episode. The fact that we had all this stuff happening around New Jersey, the Oregon coast, and the California coast is known for these things.
That's right.
As well as any of the nuclear bases and military bases where we see a lot of that stuff. So the fact that he says that there are these bases is interesting.
Now, did we think that at these bases is where the attack dolphins are?
I think that they could be there. Here's the thing. I'm not above saying that these are trader dolphins at this point. I feel like they could have sold themselves out,
Yeah.
I mean, if our Olympic skiers are selling themselves to China for $7 million, I feel like these dolphins got a much lower price. Like, they were probably, a few cans of tuna, and they were on the way. You got to be careful. You know? I don't want to claim dolphin cannibalism, but there is a possibility there.
You completely just went there.
Now, here's my thing about this. Mm-hmm. So we have the story of Atlantis, right?
Okay.
This old, well-established civilization that ruled the land for years and years and years, technologically supreme, all of a sudden disappears under the water, right? Mm-hmm. Now we got Disney movies. Every culture's talking about it. It's the whole thing, right? What if Atlantis actually became one of these bases? What if these aren't aliens at all? It's just an old civilization that has just survived out from under us.
I mean, it's just as believable as anything else at this point.
I mean, Jason Momoa could be down there right now leading Aquaman.
We're seeing more videos with mermaids, too, so...
Listen, I love a good mermaid. If you got a mermaid story, I mean, just send it in. We'll take anything from the mermaid world. I want so badly for them to be real, not only because I have daughters and they would like a good mermaid to be real. I don't think it's quite the same thing as that they want, but it would be amazing if that was a real situation. Now, their big thing, they love The Little Mermaid. What was your Disney movie?
For the girls or mine?
Yours.
Oh, Lord.
So you're growing up, a young Brandon, just glowing the locks out.
Locks out, yeah.
You know, what was the go-to?
I'm not sure I had a Disney movie, honestly.
Really?
Yeah. We had great cartoons then. I never cared about the Disneys then.
No?
Yeah.
Not even a Mighty Ducks? Nothing?
Not really.
Wow.
It just broke
I
your
tell
heart.
you,
Huh?
you think you know somebody,
Yeah.
and then this is what they do to you. Like
I stabbed you in the back again.
100%.
Yeah.
You know, what was the cartoon then? Redeem yourself with this. What was the cartoon right here?
You got G.I. Joe.
Okay.
You know, you always had Transformers. Mask. You remember Mask?
Mask was a little bit before my time.
Yeah.
I'm a lot younger, sprier gentleman than yourself.
Yeah,
so
you are.
That was a little bit before my time, but I know what you're talking about.
What about Voltron?
Voltron? Also, okay.
So,
So I'm noticing a real theme here. You like stuff that turns into stuff, is pretty
Yeah.
much what it comes down to.
generally, yeah. But you've also got the Ninja Turtles. You've got He-Man. You've got Smurfs. You've got the Gummy Bears. Do you remember the Gummy Bears?
I do remember the Gummy Bears.
Okay.
Listen, the Gummy Bears was a weird show.
It was.
Because they drink that potion,
Yeah.
and all of a sudden they could bounce on their butts. For some reason, I'd never understood what the point of it was.
It's almost like you question what they're trying to fill your mind with at that point.
Butt bouncing
With the-
is what they were trying to fill your mind with, you know?
Drink this, get really drunk, and bounce around.
Yeah, I think it might be what was fueling a generation, you know?
Could have been.
Now, the Transformers, were you a Autobot or Decepticon guy?
I kind of relate this to.
I love how deep you're getting
Yeah,
in this before we get
this
there.
is
Go
getting
ahead,
serious.
please.
So, like, if we talk Star Wars, I'm always pulling for the Sith.
Yeah.
And so with Transformers, I was like, man, Optimus Prime, he's great. I think I'm a Decepticon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, if you're talking Star Wars, it makes a lot of sense, you
Yeah.
know, because let's be honest, as much as we want to pull for like the rebels, that it's going to rise up and like solid government, good pay, got benefits, you know, I'm like,
Yeah.
like as I get older, I look at this and I'm like, you know what? I could have been a stormtrooper.
Right.
Like, it seemed like a
easy.
good gig, like,
Yeah.
you know.
But the further we go down some of these rabbit holes with some of these cartoons, man, it's almost like maybe the guys we were rooting against were trying to, look at Peter Pan.
Oh, you mean Captain Hook, the guy who was stopping children from being
Yeah.
abducted and taken to an island?
Yeah. That's not relevant right now, is
Not
it?
at all. But,
And we're done.
and that's it. And they're coming for us. I hear them at the door right now. But, the heroes and the villains really got swapped around in a lot of this stuff as you get a little bit older. You're just
Yeah.
like, yeah, no, Captain Hook was in the right. Why were they always sending a
Yeah.
crocodile after him? Like,
Even the Ninja Turtles with Shredder. Do we owe Shredder an apology?
I feel like we might. I mean, maybe not Shredder, because ultimately, I think when you have that kind of power, you're always going to be a little corrupt.
Yeah.
But there's definitely a few Foot Clan guys that didn't deserve what they got coming
Yeah.
to them. Like, he's like, man, that's just clocking in today. I didn't want this. Like,
Go fight this giant turtle with its swords.
he's like, I'm just trying to get to retirement, and I got this guy with a hockey mask barreling down at me. He's like, I'm supposed to be off at 6.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
and now this is coming at me. Like, yeah, no, it's very interesting to think like, man, I really am rooting for the bad guys as time goes on.
It's life.
The only one I can kind of get behind is still Mufasa. You know, ultimately, I don't think he was doing anything bad. He had any shady business. Like, you know, my kids have watched every one of the Lion Kings, and there's never been like a love baby that's come up in any of them, or like,
Right.
you know, there's never been like some sort of conspiracy thing, you know.
Or where you can root for Scar at all.
Yeah, no one could root for Scar.
No.
No.
The hyenas, though, they're great.
Listen, the
Mufasa. Say it again. Say it again.
Say it again. Say it again. No, the hyenas are great.
Yeah.
Yep, but they should have been banished.
Yeah. of
Like, it
course.
makes sense. Like, we can't have you running around here. Like, it's like that one friend. Do your family ever have this? We always had, like, one friend of the family that's like, hey, cousin Larry, your Uncle Larry's coming over today.
That's an interesting name you're using.
But also, let's not,
Yeah.
let's make sure that we're all in the same room. Okay,
kids don't go outside
weird.
with Uncle Larry. Yeah.
Let's just kind of watch this a little bit.
Yeah.
But
We've all got them.
we've all had them.
Yep.
Now, as we're getting into this call, this is going to be something that is truly kind of a little bit terrifying because it got physical for the first time. Throughout the rest of the stories we've had, they've all been of an attack nature.
Yeah.
And this is the first one that has a physical harm that happens with it.
And to a child. Yeah.
And so it is interesting. It is super strange, and it is something completely different than we heard before. So with that being said, let's get into the call.
Let's do it.
Hello, my name is Andrew, and I grew up in a small country town in Michigan, right in a fruit belt, a little town called Kent City, and our house was located on 19 Mile Road, and it was a 2-story red house with black shutters and shingled roof, and the basement was a sandstone foundation, and it was dug out by hand. It was all sandy and mildewy and filled with water, and that's where the fuel oil tank was, and the heater and furnace and all that stuff. And it was always a dark and scary place. And my twin brother Brandon and I, one day, we went down through the hatch that was in my mom and dad's master bedroom closet. There was a hatch that had like an old school wooden peg ladder that went to a workbench, and it was there for tornadoes, so you could access the basement from inside the house. But the light switch was clean across the other side of the basement, and it was just a scary place anyways. And my brother and I, we climbed down in there, and we're making our way across the basement, and there was another entryway that was to our left that went back underneath the rest of the house, and that's where like the fuel oil tank was and the furnace and stuff. And so my brother's behind me, and I just get this really eerie feeling, and I kind of see something, but it's pitch black dark, but I see something out of the corner of my eye, and so I turn and look, and I see these like glowing red eyes, and it looks like they're just moving side to side. And I froze. The hair stood up on my neck, and I'm like, I couldn't believe what I was seeing. And my brother Brandon, he hits the back of me because, like I said, it's dark. You can't even see the hand in front of your face. And so there's just a little bit of light coming down from my parents' closet, shining down through the hatch. And my brother's like all upset with me because he walked into me, and I was like, look, and he saw the same thing, except he didn't stand there and look at it. He turned around, took off running back for the ladder, and so we both get to climb up on the workbench, and we're starting to climb up this ladder, and we weren't, but I don't know, 7, 8 years old, and my brother makes it through to the top first, and I'm climbing up. I'm maybe 3 rungs left, and I feel something, and my legs feel something grab my ankles, and my legs get pulled off the ladder, and I'm holding on, and I'm screaming. My brother Brandon, he appears. I'm calling for him for help, and he like looks down and sees me, and I'm holding on for dear life, and like I'm almost out like a plank now, and the pressure around my ankles was just unbelievable. And I started screaming. I'm crying, and I was like, God help me. And I'm like, Brandon, help me. Like something's got me. It's got me. And my brother Brandon like laid down on his chest, and he grabbed a hold of my wrists, and I'm like, I can't hold on. I'm gonna let go. And my brother Brandon yelled, in the name of Jesus, I command you to release my brother. And I slammed into the ladder, and then of course, you know, I come up out of that basement like I got shot out of a cannon, and we closed that hatch, and I mean, I was just shaking. My body was so cold, and I was just, you know, full of fear. And my brother and I were both like crying, and my ankles, you could see where it had a hold of me, and my ankles were bruised, and it broke the skin on my left ankle. I was bleeding, and you could just see where whatever it was just had a hold of me, and yeah, so that was the last time that I ever went into that basement, and my brother too. We never went into that basement again. So it was pretty crazy. But there was a lot of weird stuff that happened in that old house. Just wanted to share the story.
Okay, full disclosure that this story is not about me. I'm not the Brandon in this story. I just want to get that out there, but man, what a call.
It was something truly terrifying.
Yes.
The thing I appreciate about most of these calls is I feel like I could be a realtor after this.
Yeah.
Like there is such description in the houses. And I think that's really where a lot of like the believability to this is because there is such a descriptive manner in the way the house is laid out, the way you get to and from that basement, what was in that basement, that it really, like if you didn't believe something like this, the fact that there's so much detail in there, I don't know how you can deny it.
Yeah. What a scary story, though. I mean,
awful.
Did he say his age?
He said he was young. It was a young kid.
So we'll say less than 10. Maybe.
Yeah, we'll go less than 10.
Yeah. I would never sleep in that house again.
No.
Ever.
No. It's over.
Yeah. Walk down a hallway. I mean, this is during the day.
Yeah. So you're heading down. First off, if you were to go into your parents' closet and there was a peg ladder going down to the basement, I'm stopping there.
Yeah.
Like, we're not going down that ladder ever. Like, that ladder's off limits. I'm never going down there.
I would go in the basement down the other way, but going down, but also, how cool is that you have like a trap door and you're in a bedroom?
I think we found out it's not that
cool.
Yeah,
it's not that great.
I think we figured that out like real quickly. To be able to go down into that basement like that and to see those eyes glowing at you.
Yeah. And he said they were moving back and forth. So I'm wondering if that's like they're searching or like a snake or...
I mean, it's definitely something that's looking down at him, looking for him. Because think about it like this, okay? You've got young kids.
Yep.
I've got young kids. Anyone out there who's listening who has young kids, I mean, you guys all know, the minute that your kids get on an upper floor, it is like a herd of elephants in the Serengeti, tying it back into Lion King Forest one more time. They just trample through, okay? So right now, I'm day demon, okay? I'm down in the basement. I'm hearing these guys coming the entire way. So I'm just looking, waiting.
Yeah.
You know, like to think that you're going to be able to hear them coming the entire way and just be on the wait. That's too much for me. I can't deal with that.
Yeah, that's a lot.
And so you go down, you see it, it's searching. It's already, now this is, you're very southern, so you're not familiar with this. The northerners, we know about that dugout sandstone basement that's not finished. The area where I grew up, everybody had one of those. As a matter of fact, I remember I had a friend that lived in my neighborhood that their basement was unfinished, but it also was like 3 foot deep. So they dug out the rest of it. And so you would go over there and they'd be digging out the rest of the basement to get it to 8 foot deep so they could finish it out and make rooms out of it. Seems like something you shouldn't be able to do.
Yeah.
But that's what a lot of those were, and they contained a lot of really vital stuff to the house for dirt. And so I can imagine having to go down there from time to time. Yeah. So just imagine knowing this thing went down there. Not only did you see it, not only did you feel its presence, but now it also has grabbed you.
Yeah, and he says like in full plank position, just being drug off of this thing.
No.
No.
That's terrible.
Yeah.
It's like something that you would see in a scary movie, but now you're living it.
Yeah. And you have to stay there.
Yeah.
There's
And
nothing you can do. I don't know if he even mentioned his parents in this call, but I'm imagining going back to tell your parents, "Hey, man, me and my brother were playing down in your downstairs, and something grabbed me and pulled. Okay,
yeah.
why don't you go play down there again?"
You know, that's where were mom and dad?
Yeah.
You know, like I'm in plank mode on the steps. We're having a conversation when I get back up there. Like, hey, where were you? What was going on? Like,
Yeah. I
Like-
needed some rescue here.
yeah, someone should have been there. You know, it's like looking back at some of the stuff and like some of the trouble you caused as a young kid. Not you,
not me.
not you, but me.
Yeah.
I was like, man, someone should have really intervened in this. Like,
Yeah.
where was everybody?
And and then when they get through it and he's out and he goes back to mom and dad and he's got these claw marks on him, he's got bruising, blood. I mean, what do you do with your kids? I mean, if they come to you and tell you they've had this downstairs at your house, what are you doing?
I'm probably selling the house. We're
Yeah.
probably, you know what? We've had a good run. Let's go ahead and get it out there right now, and it's over. We're done with it from there. That is something that I think about a lot of times, though, more than I would like to admit, because we all have kids, and they can be a bit on the dramatic side from time to time. You know, not your kids, but mine. And occasionally they'll come in with some stuff, and it's like, you know, my littlest is the worst. Is like, she stubs her toe, and it's like, you would have thought that she just got shot in the street. Like, you know, it's that bad. And then instantly you're like, hey, come on. But there's never like a physical proof. There's never like burned claw marks on her leg.
Yeah, that's insane. But going back to your youngest, maybe she was out there conducting some street business. You
Listen,
know? She's got a lot of street cred.
She's got a lot of street. She
Yeah.
may have been the instigator of this,
Yeah.
you know. If it was my house, that day demon would have been like,
Hey, we're going to go somewhere else.
I ain't trying to start nothing. Okay, so can we back up just a little bit? Like, you know, I'll be over here. You handle you, and you know, let me know when you're done.
Yeah. But again, something we've seen in a couple of these stories is that the one thing that made it all go away,
That's right. Is calling out the name of Jesus.
calling out the name of
Yeah.
Jesus. Yep.
Where it leads to the spiritual nature, that this is an attack.
Yep.
You know, I don't remember him saying anything about being a very religious or spiritual family. It seems like the calls that we've had have come from predominantly spiritual families.
Yeah.
And so I do find it interesting the fact that the enemy is attacking these families in a spiritual way, whereas he's using other tactics in other places. You know, like the unbelievers aren't being attacked by demons, you know, but the believers are getting the supernatural attack thrown at them. It's crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy. And attacking a kid at this,
Yeah.
which makes this even more scary
Well,
in my mind.
And it's the susceptibility.
Right.
It's like that nature where we've seen a lot of it where people are at that younger age able to have a little bit more awareness of that realm and being able to see a little bit more and hear a little bit more, have a little bit more interaction. And as we get a little bit older and jaded and have to pay taxes, all of a sudden we don't have that same nature that we used to have. Like that innocence is lost almost. And we chalk it up to the wind.
Yeah.
You know, I think we experience a lot of this stuff more often than we like to admit. It's just we let our mind take over that part.
We try to rationalize everything,
Yeah.
thinking that, oh, it was just our imagination. It was, you know, the wind. It was a door creaking or whatever. But I'm in a full agreement with you. I do
Yeah.
think that everybody probably, if they would step back
Yeah.
and open their eyes a little bit more, they would realize that maybe there's more to it.
Well, it's like when you shut a door and another one in your house starts to move and you just go, it's just the air pressure of the house.
Right.
You know? Sure. But every time? like Like sometimes I don't even do anything. I'm just like, air pressure, you know? Like,
Well, it was just a house popping.
yeah, every once in a while I should probably start checking some of this stuff out.
Yeah.
I'm just like, it's squirrel in the attic, you know? Like that's all it is.
Has nothing to do with being scared.
Yeah, absolutely
Right.
not. No. Neither is the 9mm. I'm just like walking around my house with, you know? But it is quite interesting to think that we let this side go.
Yeah.
You know, but here's this kid who has this attack. He's now going to carry that with him for the rest of his life. You know, I wonder how that is carried out through the rest of his life. Like, has he been able to see more things, be more open to things? How has that changed his philosophy on things?
Yeah. Has he slept since then?
I hope not. Like, I wouldn't.
I wouldn't know.
Like, I'm 100%. Like, when I say that I would have a pee bucket, I would have a pee bucket. Like, the minute it happens, it's on the Christmas list. Like, you know, it is there. It is, you know, it is on the list. It's the 5-gallon from Lowe's or Home Depot, whichever your choice is. Not sponsored, but looking. You know, with a lid opening on the top. I've given this way too much thought
Way too
already.
much. That's what I was going to say. Do you think about this daily?
So this is part of the problem of spending time traveling, playing in bands, and doing that stuff, as well as doing like travel hockey and things like that, is I have peed in way too many Gatorade bottles. And, you know, I've seen what happens when a soft Burger King cup comes your way in desperate times. You know, you got to be prepared for things.
Yeah.
And so if this happens to me, not only am I prepared, but I'm moving 3 steps ahead. Like, this demon's never going to catch me lacking. Like, we're playing chess, not checkers, okay? Like, I'm sending dummies down the ladder when I go in the other way. Like, one of my wrestling buddies is instantly going down. Not the Hogan. Maybe you know, I mean.
Is it Sting?
Can you imagine the demon be like, Ted DiBiase again? Everyone's got his price.
Yeah, exactly. At least it's not Andre the Giant, you know?
That's true. Well, that would be a massive one to send down there.
Demon!
Demon!
Get the bucket!
Get the bucket! Oh, I tried to show my wife and kids The Princess Bride.
Oh, yeah.
And they just could not get into it. And I'm like, you got to just make it to Andre. It makes everything so much worth it if you just get there. But they just refused for some reason. I'm like, come on, we're so close.
Oh, he was so great. I remember very little. We caught the tail end in our childhood with the feud with Hogan, but
Yeah. Luckily, my family was a family of wrestling degenerates, so we watched, you know, like we had all of it on VHS, and so we went back and watched all of it. And it was so good. I mean, like, by today's standards, he was not great, but he was so good.
yeah, he was so much bigger than everybody.
So much bigger than everybody. And he would just beat you up.
Yeah.
Like, if you came into the ring with baby oil, he'd be like, no baby oil, and just, like, pummel you for 20 minutes. Yeah. Like, man, that was good. Like, that's what he needed. This is where I think Andre may have missed out on some money. He needed to go fight day demons in the basement. Like, can you imagine the demon being down there like, okay, here they come. And next thing you know, he sees that one-armed singlet drop down. He's just like, it's Andre again. He's back. What are we
Old
gonna...
Andre with the perm?
That's right. 100. Yeah.
That. No, thank you.
No. See, that was the one that was scary.
Okay.
You don't.
Yeah, that one. Go ahead.
You know, no. I'll say you don't want that one coming at you in the middle of the day.
No, or drunk Andre.
Drunk Andre, from what I hear, was a good time.
Unless he had to pee.
Unless he had to pee. Or fall asleep, in which they just put the piano cover over the top of you because there's no way they're getting you to the room.
No.
Yeah. But this is awesome. I'm so glad that he called in and dropped this episode for us. He gave us this message. If you have a message or something, hit us up on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram. We're pretty much everywhere. Like, comment, subscribe. Listen, I know it's one of those things you're like, everyone says like, comment, and subscribe. Yeah, because we all need it. It helps everyone to be able to see it. It helps to get out there and helps us to be able to share these stories so that we can make these connections so that you could see if you had some day demon in the basement, you're not alone. Share us the story.
So, until next time, who you going to call?
That's Paranormal Payphone.